We're back, chat.
Yes, sir. Back with another one.
Another one, man. Episode 7. I think this is episode 7. It's either 6, 7. Okay. Nah,
It's
but yeah.
2026, man.
But nah, man. We back, man. Episode 7, as always, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in if you listen to this now. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right in, man. We got some stuff cooked up for y'all. Per usual. But yeah, what's the vibe check for today, man? Your friend just posted about their promotion on LinkedIn. Just spent $200 on DoorDash this week while your savings account was crying. You just sat through another pointless meeting where nothing got decided and you're wondering why you feel happy for them. But you also low-key tight, man. Meanwhile, Gen Z is spending $300 a month on treats while home ownership feels like this far-fetched fantasy. Only 11% of meetings are actually productive and 57% of Americans report feeling lonely despite being more connected than ever. Cognitive dissonance, man. So we that's probably sounded like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, man, but we have like 4 very uncomfortable truths about modern professional life that we want to jump into. What happens when your friends start winning and you feel like you're stuck, left behind? Why we feel so lonely despite having hundreds of connections, whether that's through LinkedIn, Instagram, exposing corporate meeting culture for the theater and the performance, just the performativeness that it actually is. And then lastly, we close them out with the harsh reality about luxury spending while you're broke in real life. Who's really winning and at what cost? It's a lot today. It's a lot today. Yeah. We got a lot today, man.
It's a whole lot. And, before we get into it, as standard practice, we have to give you the quick rundown of just let you know like what's going on here. So the views expressed on this podcast are strictly our own and do not represent our employers or any affiliated organizations. We are not financial advisors, tax professionals, or legal experts. We're sharing our personal perspectives and deconstructing these industries in real time, but none of this is professional advice. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a qualified professional before making any major moves. We're learning out loud. Join us, but make the plays you want on your own and understand those are your choice.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you as always, giving a quick disclaimer because there are a few of y'all that hopefully y'all not taking what we say as like the single source of truth and actually running with it. Hopefully you have your own interpretation of it, but we just feel like that's necessary to announce before every episode. But yeah, for our first topic of the day, we're gonna jump right in. The jealousy that nobody talks about when your friends start winning. And you can try to pretend like you don't understand what we're saying or that you don't relate to this because you're just such a good person. You're just such a stand-up guy. We're all human at the end of the day, man. So we're going to give you a couple of examples, bro. Your boy just got promoted. Your homegirl just bought a house. Your frat brother's startup just raised money. These are all hypothetical examples. And you're happy for them, but you're also low-key tight. Why didn't I get that opportunity? Am I falling behind? This is the professional jealousy that nobody likes to admit that they have, but everyone feels it at the end of the day. It's a conversation that happens in group chats, but never out loud. And how do you navigate success within your circle without letting it poison relationships or derail your own progress towards your own goals and ambitions? Now, this is one of those topics we can go on and on about, but I don't know how you want to attack this first, man. How do you navigate success within your own circle with your own people without letting it poison the relationships you have with them or throwing you off your own progress?
What I do? Like, what do I do personally?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
I mean, for me, I use it as motivation, I'll be honest, because we're all human. As much as we want the next person to win, and I actually was just seeing stuff about this, especially in the Black community, how there's a lot of support for stuff to get started. Like you support people when they're in that early stage, but then like when they actually do make it, it kind of switches a little bit. It's kind of like competition with them. So you go from supporting them to trying to be in competition. And I think we all do that. Like everybody wants to say like, oh, I should have got that. Or if they can do it, so can I. Or, why is that them? Whatever your approach is. For me, it's competition. I'm not going to lie. Like I wouldn't go and compete directly with what somebody's doing. Like if my boy starts like a flower business, like he sells different types of flowers in the city, I'm not going to go start a plant business and compete directly. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you're killing the vibe with that one. But what I do is I say, okay, they did this. Let me see, how did they do it? Can I learn from them? Don't be a fan. Don't be fanned out. But you just gotta just use it as an edge to push yourself further. Like, so be happy for them and take that inner, I guess, jealousy, because literally everyone has it. If you say you don't have a jealous bone in your body, go talk to somebody who's buying
lying so bad, bro. Yeah.
Bro, it's human nature, bro. So like for me, I just try to use it to motivate. What about you? How do you handle that?
Yeah, not to kind of like reiterate the same points, but yeah, I look at it the same way, honestly. Like, and I want to be very clear, like the distinction when I say competition, when I say like, let's be clear when I say like when I see somebody else winning, obviously it's a chip on my it's motivation. It's a chip on my shoulder. It's like, all right, I gotta step my game up. I have to do better on my end. When I say like when we say we're going into it's competition, it's not like, okay, because you're winning, now I need to go do something to directly conflict or actually be in competition with you, because it's not really I don't look at it as like being in competition with you, but it's more like honestly like a competition with myself, if I'm being frank. Just like saying like, okay, how much more can I step up? How much more can I kind of like level up and kind of like bolster my own situation, or kind of like like upskill or upgrade whatever I got going on to still be in the same boat as you. Like it's not whenever I've seen like one of my close friends, like, and I have like plenty of friends and people I'm cool with who have gone on to done like and are still doing great things. Like we're only 22, 23 years old. So it's like we have a long, long future ahead of us to see like our close friends, people we cool with and everyone within our network to kind of continue growing, expanding, hitting different milestones and achievements. However, I think it's very clear to not let that jealousy, like, it's one thing, like, you can feel how you want to feel, of course, like, at the end of the day, like, it definitely stings when it's like you see somebody doing something that, you know that you wanted for yourself. It should really only kind of be activating, like, this kind of, like, fierceness and ambition within yourself, not to go against them, but to, like, say, like, all right, I can do this too. Like, let me empower myself. Let me become a high agency person, someone who actually goes out there and gets it for themselves, not someone who's like, all right, you got it, but you didn't deserve it. I should have, like, it's a very like fine line between like those type of attitudes. But yeah, like you, like I said, I use it as a chip on my shoulder, as kind of like like something to keep me going. But it's like it's like the big thing here is like without letting it poison relationships. Like, okay, maybe we do take it both as competition, but it's like, how do you make sure that competition doesn't affect the relationship that you have with that person? And I think that's kind of like the piece that I think a lot of people struggle with. For me, it's like I don't think that you should. I think the easiest way to kind of go about this and solve this, I don't think you should just treat anybody differently, whether that's for the better or worse, based on an achievement that they have. Like, I think it's good to give them their flowers, give them their celebrations, congratulate them, but I don't think that you should change how you treat them based on a milestone.
Mhm.
Because if your boy do something crazy and he up, if you start glazing them, it's going to look like, okay, maybe you're only trying to like kick it with me a little more because you see I'm doing what I'm doing. And then if you start acting in a way that's a bit like like a bit off-putting and kind of like just envious, it's going to be like, okay, now you hating on me. So it's like you have to kind of know how to play it there. But I think that just being like the same type of, if you are really good friends with somebody, I think just maintaining like the type of friend that you were before any of this kicked off is what keeps friendships grounded, in my eyes.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I think that's the same. Like you got to keep the relationship the same, or relationships change naturally. Keep the natural state. The way I see
Yeah.
things is like you don't ever want to be the smartest person in your friend group. You don't want to be the most talented. You don't want to be the most uh, wealthy. You don't want to be the most anything, right? Because then if you do that, you have a domination complex that grows whether you know it or not, because you feel like you're kind of leading those around you. So let's say, for example, you are like the smartest person, right? You want somebody who has more drive that's around you. So you don't have to be the smartest person to go make stuff happen. But if you have drive, you have determination, a little bit of luck, you can make things happen.
For sure.
I think you just got to balance that. Like, for example, I got people I know that are doing crazy things. And I'm not finna like say like exactly what they do or like what's going on, because I mean it's like that's my boys, whatever the case is, that are literally out there traveling the world, going all over the states, doing just crazy stuff, and I support 100%. Does it make me want to do better? Absolutely. But do I feel like that should be my spot, or that I'm hating on it because blah
Yeah.
blah blah?
Nah.
Nah, because that their dream isn't my dream. You know what I mean? Or if it
Yeah.
is, that's not the like. If you grow up with your best friend, he go to the league, you don't. You gonna hate your boy because he went to the league?
Me, I'm gonna be happy. If you're in the league, bro, I promise you, there's not gonna be a hating bone in my body, man. Because if like,
That's what I'm saying.
nah, that's not even a thought that crossed my mind. Like, it's a very clear, like I said, it's a fine line between hating on your boy and feeling how you feel, but still wanting to keep it pushing for your own, like for your own empowerment, for your own progression. Yes, I think I hope people don't get that confused and feel like that. I also don't think that people should use that as a reason to start hating on somebody or a reason to start like, not being the same type of friend that you were before whatever achievement or milestone it is that they hit. But yeah, like it's weird, man. It's like it also should not derail your own progress. You made a good point. Like your dream isn't my dream. So it's like just because you're doing something, that doesn't mean that, oh, this is setting me back even further. No. Everyone has their own path. My path is my path, and I'm going to forge it regardless of what steps or what achievements or milestones you take. Because like what's for me is for me, man. And so like I feel that's really like this is one of them conversations. Like it really don't got to be more complicated than it is, bro. Like
It's not.
it is what it is, bro. Like your boy is your boy, and it's like,
Look at
go ahead.
like, I was gonna say, look at LeBron and like his people. Look at Rich Paul.
Yeah, I'm like,
Like
bro, like, and
everybody
it's
not
like,
gonna be the
that's what I'm
greatest.
saying. And it's like, bro, like, if you're a real friend, like, I'm not nobody I can say I'm a close friend with. Like, there's not a underlying reason or like some type of ulterior motive for why I'm close friends with you, bro. If I'm close friends with you, bro, it's because like we've built a relationship and we've built a bond that I actually cherish. Not because like, oh, I think you'll be a vice president of a Fortune 500 company one day. I mean, that's the goal. I feel like we all like got ambitions and goals. Like that would be awesome. But I'm not friends with somebody solely for what I think they can potentially accomplish or kind of like bring back, or like I don't treat friendships as like a return on investment, bro. Like my friends are my friends, and like that's how they should be treated, regardless of what title or prestige or whatever the case may be. But yeah, and just to touch on a couple like kind of quick facts to kind of give you guys some more context as to like why this is even a conversation. So I'm just talk about a couple points we have.
Wait, real quick.
First, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say real quick before the facts. Just on the flip side of that, people who let's say they are making it and they do have friends that feel like and they're trying to figure out how to be that friend while they're the one that's living the dream, and they might
Yeah, for
feel
sure,
like they're
for sure.
outshining other people. You also still have to determine like who's around you. I think that leads to a lot of like, oh, they finna snake me, or were they really my friend? It leads a lot of paranoia, or it leads to a lot of paranoia in those relationships. So I think like to Malcolm's point, you really need to have like faith in your relationship with your people before it gets to that point. Any weird behavior, any stuff, like you just got to have stuff figured out, because this isn't just about somebody switching up on someone they know because they made it. It's about people who also made it switching up because of paranoia that the people that they came up with are different or look at them different. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Like it does go both ways. So you got
Nah,
to make
no
sure you reach
doubt.
back out too.
Facts. Just to Thomas's point, like a couple quick facts for y'all. So this is the first one is from a Journal of Personality and Social Psychology from 2018, studied by researchers at NYU and USC. Approximately 75% of professionals report experiencing workplace envy at least monthly across all organizational levels. So this includes entry level, mid level, and senior executives. 75% of professionals. 80% of people younger than 30 say they experienced envy within the past year, compared to 69% aged 50 and older. Jealousy, I mean, you can interpret those numbers how you want to, but it seems like, and I feel like you have to take per capita into this situation as well, but this is just another kind of like, just interesting stat. And this isn't even in the workplace. This is just envy, period, right? This doesn't have to be a workplace, a professional corporate setting. This is envy, period, right? So, next thing is that career jealousy peaks near middle age. It rises from 22% among young adults in their 20s to 43% among participants in their 40s. So like I said, this pressure intensifies as career stakes get higher, right? So you get around them, that 40s, that's when, you become a senior level executive. That's when paychecks and
I'm start running
incentives and
out.
stocks, yeah, all that stuff starts to kind of factor in. And this is that's actually a Harvard business review study. And then another one, last one, I'll talk to you guys about. Organizations with growth mindset cultures report 47% lower levels of destructive envy behaviors and 34% higher rates of skill development initiatives. I would interpretation from that is that organizations that empower employees and open opportunities for them to grow instead of kind of being in like this very narrow description of their tasks, responsibilities. When you give them room to grow, that there's less kind of like jealousy and barriers between organizational relationships, because everyone has like equal footing to grow and feel empowered and feel impactful for the work that they do for themselves and their broader organization. But yeah, man, that was our first one, our first question for the day, the jealousy that nobody talks about. The next one, in the same kind of same kind of a branch of friendship and kind of like how we feel. And this is actually a different kind of view we want to look into. This one is actually about the friendship recession. Why are we actually all so lonely? And this may not apply to everyone. This is very, I will say, if you know type situation. But I think this applies to a lot more people than I think one would presume. For example,
Hmm.
you've got 800 plus LinkedIn connections. You've got thousands of Instagram followers, group chats with 30 people. But when's the last time you've had a real deep conversation with someone who isn't your partner or your family? Studies show that people, especially younger people, have fewer close friends than ever. For young professionals grinding 40 to 60-hour work weeks, meeting culture eating up your calendar and time, and everyone claiming that they're too busy. How do you maintain friendships when connection feels like just another task on the to-do list?
That's right. That's the question right there. I think a lot of it, like even it's high on younger people, but I think a lot of it also does affect, like, even if you're a few years in your career, like I see people who've been, 25, 30 years into the role,
Yeah.
still in the same situation. Like it doesn't get easier. The workload gets piled on and, you might get better at managing it, but stuff that takes time still takes time, right? So you have to try to set those practices in early. And I really do think that a lot of people just feel isolated because it all connects to, like, the drive to be successful. And it connects to what we've talked about in previous episodes where, you're constantly keeping up, trying to just, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Cause that's all you see on social media. And social media,
Hmm.
I think, is why, like, people feel this way. Like I just heard about this study recently, where they had, like, I think it was mice or rats or something, and they had put so many of them, like they constantly saw each other all the time
Yeah.
and they were just seeing each other. And they eventually lost the desire to reproduce. They lost the desire to have, relations and like actually be with one another because they constantly saw each other. And that in that study, they were talking about how that's basically what's happening to society. You see people all the time, but you're not really like having intimate relation or like connections with them. Like, yes, you have your family, you might have your partner, but things have changed so much with social media. Like, when's the last time we just had people with friends that just saw each other on a regular basis or went out regularly, just hung around with each other? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have to go out to the bar, you didn't have to go out to the golf range, you didn't have to go out to do activity. You just hang out and just talk candidly.
Hmm.
And I think losing that is one reason why.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think I guess my take on like the maintaining friendships piece. I think that part of that, or a big part of that, really becomes with people being like work and personal life becoming inseparable for a lot of people. I think that like the first step to maintaining friendships, and even as like if you want to consider them kind of like subsections of friendships or like kind of like drop downs, like healthy habits, personal well-being, you have to be able to separate the thing that consumes the bulk of your time, which for most Americans and most people around the world is work, right? Your work at the end of the day, and people naturally, it's a natural prioritization because work at the end of the day pays your bills, it puts food on the table, it provides for your family, it puts clothes on your back. Ships, some do, but most friendships or most like kind of like fun bonding activities do not pay the bills or actually get things that need to get done. The things that people stress about, I guess most people don't kind of view like friendship as kind of like the solution to that, right? Like me having a great, if I'm about to get evicted, I'm saying rent's due next month. I go out, have the lunch with my boys. We go to we're at Buffalo Wild Wings, catching up, man, getting a couple drinks, getting some wings, man. Awesome time, bro. Awesome time. We watching the game, dude. That healed me. You're still getting evicted, right? Like, so it's like people have this natural inclination to kind of prioritize the things that actually, right, like keep them afloat. And so I think that the first kind of step towards maintaining friendships and keeping that level of connection high is like being able to separate, like, okay, this is my work, this is my personal life. When those things collide, when you start to find yourself clocking in on the weekends, when you see yourself like staying up super late every night trying to like meet a deadline or look like the perfect employee to your boss, when you aren't able to separate those things, like you lose any type of desire to have that connection or to have those type of friendships that once kind of fulfilled you, right? Because now the only thing that fulfills you is work, not friendships, not activities, not bonding, not opportunities to go out and hang out with the people that are closest to you. So I think that the first thing is like being able to separate that and being able to like just start to build healthy habits. Like, okay, at this time, I'm shutting everything off. I'm getting offline. I'm going to go kind of do something for myself. I'm going to go do a hobby. I'm going to go read. I'm going to go paint. I'm going to go do photography. I'm going to go for a walk and run. I'm going to go hang out with somebody, give a call to my friend I haven't talked to in a while. These type of like baby steps, I think, are kind of like the first steps towards like reclaiming that once so lost, or like the now lost like art of like being intimate and with your friends and like like having really good down to earth connections. Like I feel like it's, and like you mentioned, social media is a big part of that because we feel like we see so much. We feel like we see so much of what everyone does. We don't feel the need to reach out to them. And to a degree, I feel you. It's like, bro, if I watch your story and I see every single thing that you did on your cruise from when you got at the port and you left the ship all the way to every island you went to all the way times you got back, what am I going to call you for to ask you how your cruise went? I saw how your cruise went. Like I saw everything that you did. I saw everything. I saw every meal that you had on the cruise. I saw every island you went to. I saw every landmark you went to. I saw every outfit you had on. I saw everything. So it's like, what I need to check in for you for? Like, I'll see it. It seems like you're having a good time. Like, hey, maybe I'll send like a story, or hey, like this looks fun. Whatever. I feel you, bro. I agree with you 100%.
It's rough out there, and I ain't gonna lie. What you said about work, man, I felt that in my bones. Let me say this: if your job has you like that, your job's not going to be there when you die. It's not going to be when you get sick. It's not going to marry you. It's not going to have kids with you. It's not going to give you a good life. Leave, find something else, find another job, and then leave. Straight up. Unless your job, like, unless you are an emergency worker, somebody who's doing something important, like, you work power lines, you work in the hospital, you're a police officer, fireman, any like real job, like real to daily people. I guarantee you it doesn't require all that. Like for my people, in tech, finance.
Sorry, I was a second seed that was still there.
For my people in tech, finance, and all that stuff, like I get like the pressure, the stress, but at the end of the day, you got to think, well, people mess up all the time. Deadlines are missed all the time. Things go on. Unless, you're in that part of tech where like, if you don't show up, like a cyber attack happens, that's a little different. But like I hear people like devs say all the time, we're putting out a fire right now. We're putting out a fire right now. What fire, man? Are the servers on fire? Is the building on fire? The code is on fire. Oh, the code for this feature. How many people use the feature right now? How many people are affected right now? Is their heart stopping? No. So I feel like that is a slap in the face to people who really put out fires. So when they say these things, it's to make you feel like you need to be there extra. You need to work over the weekends. You need to, brother. I mean, if you're getting paid for it, if you can clock it and you want to do that, sure. But find boundaries to protect yourself, because at the end of the day, if you work a desk job, 9.5 times out of 10, it's not as important as they say, and the stuff's going to get cut anyway. So I say all that to say, like, they use these inflammatory words because those are people who have been trained in the mindset that work is life, and they literally will only leave if their parent is passing away, and then even on their parent's deathbed, they still have their work computer open. Don't be like that. Free yourself. Don't be like that at all, please.
Good point, man. And we going once again add some more context to this entire discussion with a couple facts. According to Cigna's group Loneliness in America 2025 survey, 57% of Americans are lonely. Over 7,500 U.S. adults age 18 and up reported lonely. Right? Like Gen Z and millennials report higher loneliness than older generations. This I 100% believe. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is a whole another separate discussion, but I feel like older generations, bro, they're just chilling, dog. They were able to get houses when they were $75,000, bro. Seeing all the probably like the most booming parts of the American economy. Now they're just chilling on the golf course every day. So I get it. And they also didn't come up in a world where it's like this constant fight and comparison and performances and like all the stuff that all the problems that kind of come with social media and technology. They may have got that on the back end of their their life, but coming up, man, they just enjoy life for what it is.
Man, they had comparison, but I know what you mean. Like just it's different.
I'm talking about they definitely had a comparison. Not to say that, not to eliminate that. But I'm saying like the constant. Constant like overflow of information, what other people are doing every second of the day, that they didn't have to deal with until maybe they were 60, 70, 80 years, or however old they were. But yeah,
my grandparents talk to more people every day than I do, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, and then this one, signs of people loneliness statistics. 58% of Americans feel no one truly knows them. Connection depth matters more than contact frequency. 58% of Americans feel like no one truly knows them. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, man, reach out to your friends, talk to your friends, call somebody you haven't talked to in a minute. Because you just never know who needs that call to make their day, man. I try my best to reach out to my boys, my people, that I made. Like, 'cause it's a lot different in college, right? Like in college, you always run into somebody, you always run into your boy you can dap up in the you know, on the sidewalk in the dorms at some type of function. After you graduate, bro, that type of connection, like those friends you used to see every day in college or anywhere in your previous life, like when everybody goes their separate ways, those contacts, those run-ins become a lot more infrequent. And when you realize though that was like really like the only reason y'all ever communicated, it becomes that much more important to actually reach out and talk to your people, man. So just make sure you kind of like, especially if you're a recent graduate or coming up on graduation, just kind of like keep that in the back of your mind, man. Always like just try to maintain those friendships, maintain like that connection with those people that you made for these last few years, because one, you never know when it's going to work in your favor. Two, it's just part of being a good human, bro. Just like checking in your people. Make sure they're good, man. Give somebody a call. Never know. You never know whose day you might make just hearing your voice, man. So
And stop reaching out only when you need something.
God, yes, please. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, please do not reach out like if it's only like you asking for a cash app, you need something, you need this and that. Reach out just to reach out. Reach out to see how somebody's doing for their well being. If you need something after that, but if you do need something, all right. One thing, I'm not saying don't reach out to somebody. If it's an emergency, you do really need something, reach out. But don't like at least ask how they doing first. I mean, Jesus, like you tell me the first text I get from you in 2 years is, "Hey, bro, you got 30 on Cash App?" Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be
chill, bro. Like,
I don't have 30 for you. You can get out my face though.
And don't be habitually asking for something either. Like we all know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody who they only get reached out to by somebody and they only do it when they want something. And it's like they never reach out any other time. They might say, "How you doing?" But then it's immediately followed up with like, "Hey, can I get this? Can I hold that? Can I?" It's like, man, like what are you what are you doing? Like what's the plan on that? Like I understand if you need something, you can't always need something. Like you got to mix it in. And also if someone sends a message and they start with, "I love you guys so much," or, "Oh, I love you." This, if they started with a heart emoji, they're asking for money. If they start with any sort of like love, like symbol, they finna ask you for something. I bet you they finna ask you for something. And if not, then y'all really close and this shouldn't even be a concern.
Yeah. Facts. Hit it all nail on the head, bro. But yeah, bro, let's hop into our third topic of the day, man. To that point where we said, like I said before, like that part about being able to create boundaries between your work life and personal life. This one kind of draws from both of those, right? So the meeting that should have been an email, corporate theater. This one I feel like a lot more we should be able to relate to. You just have to do a 60-minute meeting where 10 minutes of information was stretched into an hour so that everyone can feel important. Nobody made a decision. 3 action items that could have been a Slack message. Half the attendees were multitasking, checking emails, or zoned out completely. This is corporate theater. The literal definition of performing work instead of doing work. How much of your job is actual productivity versus just looking productive?
Well, I'd see a stat right here that's popping out to me I think is key to share some context on this. Employees spend 11.3 hours per week in meetings on average, nearly a third of a 40-hour work week. So let's say your average day is 8 hours. That's over a day just
That's
in
insane.
meetings.
That's insane. That's insane.
Like, what are we being productive? Like in the meetings, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like the meetings, you can, like you said, 60-minute meeting. There's really about 5 minutes of like actual impact context items from there. That's why you can have an hour-long meeting where you're talking paragraphs and the AI summary of that meeting will be like a few bullet points. And a lot of it, I think a lot of it is just like really poor communication. Like I think a lot of people just lack communication with who they're supposed to communicate with, and everyone likes to designate who's communicating with who. So then you get in these meetings and everyone's confused because people just didn't talk how they were supposed to. It's a waste.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like I feel like it's this thing now where it's like meetings have been like become like the substitute for actual like progress. And so I won't sit here and say that every single meeting is a waste of time, because that's not true. There are a ton of meetings that are kind of like part of like my weekly workflow that are like absolutely I have to have it, right? Like I think like certain meetings, right? Like one-on-ones with your leadership, like your manager, the couple of times you can talk to like a skip manager or someone like higher up in your organization. Those are pretty invaluable meetings, right? Like you need those type of like weekly check-ins and like, hey, checkpoints on people that really kind of influence decisions in your career and kind of like impact like kind of like what it is you're focusing on. So meetings with like leadership managers, those I feel like are invaluable. There are also meetings, right, like team meetings, or whether you're in a sprint, whatever type of like workflow you're in, where it's like they may not always be as important, but it's also good to kind of get visibility to understand like where your teammates are at. Those type of meetings I think can also prove valuable if structured the right way. Like everyone kind of gives like, hey, these are our updates. This is where we're at. This is what I'm working on. That's good because now I understand like, okay, this is who I can reach out to if I have a problem with X, Y, and Z. I know that so-and-so is working on this. I know that so-and-so is working on this. So I have a very good kind of depth perception on where everyone's at in regard to like what's top of mind, like what's a top priority. Now there are also meetings. There are also meetings like emergency meetings, like you said before, like the putting out fires, whatnot. That where it's like you have to have those. And then there are other meetings where it's just like we're literally in here just talking. Like we like what are we doing, right? Like, and so it's like I feel like when you have those and it becomes like a normal cadence, that's where it becomes like a problem, man. Because meetings to me, important ones aside, but meetings for me, it's just taking away from time that I can really just be working. And it's like you can put this into an email, into a quick little bullet points, into a quick little like, hey, here's what we need you to do. But instead it becomes this drawn out thing. And it's like I said, like when meetings become used to replace productivity and actual impact and actual deliverables, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's when it's like that's when the question becomes raised, like what's actual productivity and what's actually what's just looking productive, right? Because someone can say they're being productive because they had these meetings today, and you led all these meetings, whatnot. What did you actually do?
Screw that.
What did you get submitted? What did you impact? What did you make more efficient? How did you make like come on, bro.
We got to
Like,
watch the people who run in these meetings too. A lot of the people who run or start the meetings or schedule them, they're doing that so that they can get high visibility on things without actually doing a whole lot of work. Like that's their way of throwing other people under the bus in front of others because they know, especially if they're above you, they know you as someone who's below them or who's newer. You're not going to call them out in that meeting more than likely. Now, if you do, power to you.
Yeah, you're bold. Yeah, that's respect.
You bold. I mean, there's repercussions for sure because like, even if we all know there's games to be played. It's all politics, right? There's plenty of people who like acknowledge this. However, as much as you might not like it, you have to play the game. If you're going to be in their system, you have to play the game. You have to,
gotta play the game they playing. Like you don't play the game, you don't get left behind, bro. It's just
facts. And if you don't care, power to you even more. And I think there is a way you could do that. Like if you're like so impactful that like you literally are irreplaceable, sure. But like realistically, a lot of the stuff, productivity, it could have been a message, or like people drag stuff out in meetings with a lot of people that could have been like a quick one-on-one. And this kind of goes into like the remote work stuff too, because like people try to fault remote work to say like that's the problem. It's not. People in office waste just as much time doing the same stuff, or like you can be in office.
I think
and you still schedule.
I think it invites more time wasting in the office, bro. Like the little conversations you have in the hallway, the coffee machines, just like I feel like just the little conversations like that turn into like a high and by that turn to like 15, 20-minute conversations. I feel like you can make a case for equal lack of productivity across in the office or remote. Really, depending on how you look at it, you can say, hey, people remote, they may be at work, they may be in the office, not always working. Promise people in the office also are not always working. Just because you're in there does not mean you're actually in there, right? And so it's like you can make the argument like, hey, people in the office, they're going to be more focused, they're around other people, they're going to be more motivated.
Cap.
You can also make the argument that, hey, somebody that's remote, their entire day is dedicated to work. There is no time to commute. There is no time to get ready and get dressed. You wake up, you get straight to work, right? So it's like, it really just depends on kind of like what your leadership and what your organization defines as productivity and getting stuff done. And how that looks is how that looks, man. You can't control that unless you are listening to this and you're like a CEO. We'd love to chat more, but yeah, man, like that's really the only, you know what I'm saying? You have to just understand, like you have to play this game until there's a point where you don't have to any longer. And when you do get to that point, hey, more power to you, like Thomas was saying. But until then, you just have to really understand like how to still like not replace productivity and getting stuff done as just being in meetings. And you have to understand like how to effectively multitask and still be able to deliver high quality, high impact, high visibility projects and impacts to your organization, man. So yeah.
Don't stress out about it either. Like the higher you go, the more you're gonna get
more
cooked.
You're gonna get stressed. Yeah, more belt. It's just
like
it's
you could literally
leather. The more higher up you go,
it start being premium leather, metal reinforced with Teflon on the inside. I'm telling you, bro. Like for all my people, like, it doesn't get any easier. And even if you can have the best presentation, the best meeting points, every piece of data necessary. The people who are hired, it's their job to be skeptical, right? It's their job to like make you feel,
Question things. Yeah.
yeah, like question things, feel a level of incompetence. They have to do that to you. They have to gaslight you a little bit so that you have more motivation to go back and do it again, or like to go harder. So like don't stress yourself about stuff being perfect, bro. It's gonna be a problem no matter what.
Percent, man. 100%, man. We gonna go ahead and jump into our last topic of the day, man. This one we've touched on this one to an extent in previous episodes, but we really want to kind of dive into this one because this is one of those things where it's like it's consistently reinforced, like why we even need to have this platform, why we even need to have questions like this in the first place, right? So the luxury trap, why everyone is broke but looks rich. Designer bags, we talking Birkin, Chanel, we talking all of that on a 60K salary. Luxury car leases eating 30% of income. Bottle service on credit cards, which is absolutely insane. Bottle service, if you are getting bottle service on credit cards, I think you should go to the bank with handcuffs and just be putting like just I don't know. You just need to be putting handcuffs somewhere. Vacations for the gram, finance with debt. We have created a culture where looking successful is more important than being financially stable. Gen Z carries an average of $94,000 in personal debt while spending hundreds monthly on treats, on fancy stuff, on looking good because home ownership feels impossible anyway. So, hey, we may as well just spend it. How do we get here? And what's the actual cost of keeping up appearances? This one, and let me just be clear and preface by saying that I'm not part of that Gen Z that spends hundreds monthly on treats because home ownership feels so far away. I'm trying to bring that gap in as close as I possibly can within a reasonable amount of time, just for clarity. But yeah, I'll let you give your take on this. Like, you're thinking hard on this one, man.
Hey, number one, know this. Hey, I'm glad y'all feel this way, but shout out to all my people who bought them J. Cole tickets up, but can't pay the bills. Shout out all my people who got debt, but they going to J. Cole front row seats, VIP backstage passes. You better ask him. He might pay it off for you. Cool dude. I don't know if he that cool though. But for me, like I said, that's not a diss. That's just reality. You got to enjoy life, right? And some people just choose to enjoy it different ways. But for me, yeah, I'm thinking a lot about that because like as far fetched as a lot of stuff is, like home ownership, car ownership, like I think a lot of it is just like, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like, I don't know how many people watched the movie Him. I know it wasn't the best objective movie, but they were willing to sacrifice stuff to, go pro, NFL Hall of Fame. Except they sacrificed their soul. You don't have to sacrifice your soul to get a house, to get a paid off car. You just got to sacrifice fronting and flexing for people. Like,
Yeah.
You don't need to lease a car, bro. If you just graduated from college, I don't care if you have a $250,000 job. You don't need to lease a vehicle, bro. That is the dumbest thing that you can do as somebody who's trying to save up money to have a family, build a house, or buy a house, whatever the case is. Bottle service, bro. Stop going to the club, man. Like, stop doing all that. Have fun. Like, you can go out, you can go to the club, you can hang out with your people and not spend hundreds of dollars. You don't need a section. No one's gonna remember this stuff. And for me, it's like I have goals, right? Like I'm trying to save up for a house. I'm trying to save up for my future. I have things I want to do. Like, you just have to know time and place, bro. Like, if you want that dog, think about, is it smart to get that dog right now? Are you in a situation where you can properly take care of it and yourself? You really got to think, like to Malcolm's point, like people spending hundreds on sweets and stuff like that, man. Stop eating out, bro. Go to Costco, bro. They got pot pies for $20 some, man. That's food for like a week. They got all this stuff. Like, there's options. You just have to look at your options. So not to ramble on. Like, I'm done with, like, not done, but like I'm gonna stop like with this follow-up sentence. You need to choose what you want to have in the future, whether you want debt because you bought a bunch of little things, or if you want financial freedom, health, and happiness because you invested in yourself by saving money and putting in the right places. You have the choice. Stop blaming Uncle Sam for everything. Stop blaming your community for everything. Take some accountability. You have to suffer a little bit by realizing what is a flesh desire and what is something spiritually feeding you.
Yeah, man. I say, yeah, bro, you made a lot of great points, and I would say like my interpretation of like how we got here, like I mentioned before, with older generations, I think not reporting the same levels of unhappiness and loneliness. I think, like I said, it's that we have grown up in a generation with like this constant, and I mean literally constant, every waking day, we are seeing what someone else is doing. We are seeing what someone else is doing, how amazing someone else's life looks. We are seeing someone else's money. We are seeing someone else's supercars. We're seeing someone else's mansion. We are seeing like we are seeing lives through like the like we have never ever in human history seen kind of like this up close and personal, like the lives of like the top 1% of the wealthiest people in the world this closely. And it becomes like it's a trickle down effect, right? Because the top 1% doesn't care about you or like who you're posting for. They don't know you exist. So when that trickles down, it becomes like this stigma and this absolute must, like it's just like this insane desire to have to be the most poppin', the most young, rich, the most turnt, the most everything. And it's like the younger you're able to reach those milestones, the more successful you look. Like when you're an 18-year-old that has a successful clothing brand, and you're making $1 million a year, and you're driving a track hawk, you look like the man compared to the 30-year-old guy who's been working 9 to 5 since he graduated college, trying to max out his 401k every year, right? Like what looks cooler on the gram, what looks more enticing to younger people. And so it's like our generation as well, we've also kind of been like, we've been exposed to these get rich quick schemes, the scamming, right? The fraud, the doing this and that to get a ton of money in our pockets quickly to look good for other people, to validate ourselves and to validate our appearance online. That's exactly how we got here. It's the enablement of social media. It's the access to being able to see what the richest people in the world look like. And it's the constant comparison of other people's lives to our own to be able to feel like, okay, I just saw him pop a bottle of Don in the club. I have to go in there, get my own bottle and get a bigger one and get a bigger section, right? I have to one up everybody. Like, and it's like one, a lot of that comes from your own insecurity because you feel like you aren't good enough to validate yourself. You have to get validation from other people. Two, it's just like you just want to look like you really get into it and you know you're not. Now, I will say, because I think one thing that neither of us kind of mentioned, we are not saying don't treat yourself, don't reward yourself.
Yeah.
That is a very now we are not saying live stone cold like some monks and never buy anything. All money must go to the specific percentage, every single no. I'm not saying that because people do deserve to treat themselves and to reward themselves for a job well done or for putting in work, right? Like I'm not saying never go on a vacation. I'm not saying never, have a little fun, go out with your friend. I'm not saying that at all. Not especially not that we just had this whole conversation about like being able to still connect with friends and the whole jealousy thing. What I'm saying is that these rewards for yourself should not be like when you are rewarding yourself and treating yourself, it should not be at the expense of your future self, right? You should not be going into debt for a vacation to the Bahamas. If you have saved up money and you put all your money in the right places, hey, maybe I put 10% towards my investment account. I put 10% towards, the house I'm trying to save for. I paid off my car note, paid my phone bills. I've been, I've been a great friend for the last few months. I've been really stressed out with work, but I've still been kind of like performing really high. And you try to do something nice with your significant other for yourself. Hey, take that trip. But if you know damn well you are not going to make rent next month, why are we going out of the country? Why are we making passport boomerangs on our Instagram knowing we're about to get kicked out of our apartment when we get back home, right? And it's like, these may seem like very extreme situations, like there's no way anybody's doing this in real life. But one, it is real life. It happens. Just because you don't see what happens on the other end of that screen behind the iPhone that's taking the camera doesn't mean that it's not happening. At the end of the day, social media I hate that we keep on having these social media topics, but it's like it's so like relevant, and I realize how much it's just kind of like imbued in a lot of the problems that we have today. It's the constant comparison, it's the constant access to saying what someone else is doing, and we just convince ourselves that because I'm sure, and I'm sure like I've been a victim of this. Like I'm sure in high school there have probably been dudes whose stories I've seen. I'm like, bro, this dude is so much richer than me. And it's like we can fast forward 5 years now. He's probably in all the designer clothes, but it's like, does that really mean you have more money than me, or you're doing like better than me? Like you're more well off than me? No, because the older you get, the more mature you get, what you kind of value or what your perception of like wealth and success is, it changes when you're younger. And for some people get to our age and they still view what someone younger would view as success. 17, 16, 17-year-old may view a Mary Jeans, Gucci, the latest kicks as success, as wealth, as, hey, he's doing okay. Me, if I see you buying a house at my age, I see that as success. If I see you breaking $50,000, $100,000 into your brokerage account by 25, that's success. If I see you with a paid off car, with paid off student loans, that's success. When I see you being able to retire your family early, when I see you being able to, you know what I'm saying, like help your significant other start their business up, when you're able to pour money into other people and like help like do real things that actually impact people and communities, that's success to me now. Buying a home, paying stuff off, ownership, starting a business, becoming an entrepreneur, that's success for me now. It's not the things that like what I viewed as success at 17 is not what I view as success at 22. And I'm sure that what I view as success at 22 will not be what I view as success at 25. That's the whole goal. We're supposed to keep evolving and keep on like getting more mature and more like kind of like sophisticated and just more like kind of like more down to earth and like what we view as success, not these otherworldly, far-fetched foreign luxury brands. All that is cool. You can post you behind a Lamborghini. Is that a rental for a day or do you own that Lamborghini? Right? Like what's the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like when it comes to the actual cost of keeping up appearances, I personally can't say because I will never be someone who like tries to pretend like I have it and I really don't. If I ever post something, if you ever see me post something, knowing good and well that's not if you ever see me post a dang private jet or me in some Gucci kicks, fully Gucci fits, man, slap me. Slap me, bro. Like literally jump through the phone and slap me, bro. So it's like, I can't say. I know it's coming. We're at a level of debt and you don't have to show it to Instagram, but at the end of the day, you know real life, because you at the end of the day, nobody has to face that real life and those real life consequences and that real life debt except the person that makes a decision. And it will not be me. And it certainly won't be you. Right? So it's like, what you going to do? Are you going to invest for your future self? Or are you going to make the choice that's going to make you happy today? Who's going to be like, what's going to matter more in 5 years? I'm dropping my mic, man.
Well said. I mean, I think that's straight facts. We got to look at who was it? Was it Bow Wow? Somebody had posted a picture of a jet, like they were getting on a private jet, and then got caught up on Coach.
Spirit, man. Come on, man.
Like, I mean, I'm not laughing at him. It's just like it's crazy because like those are the type of things. Like he might have just been joking, but like those are the type of things people do.
People do that
because it's like they feel like they got to show off
somebody.
Yeah, bro, like no one cares if you have a private jet, bro. Like I promise you, I'd rather see you. I'd be more impressed if I see you build a car from scratch that runs on water and you evade the assassination attempts. Make me happy. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Like do that. Change the world. Do something good. Like and like Malcolm said, man, the flexing. Stuff gets old, man. Like if you look at the OGs that are still doing all that, like I'm not gonna say names, but it's a few. Shout out them. They still doing their thing. That might just be who they are. But at some point, throw. I'm not gonna say throw the J's away, but you gotta keep. You just gotta be smart with your stuff, man. Like we see rappers and rich people, they admit to using fake jewelry, fake diamonds because it might be part of the image they need, but it's not a good financial investment, bro.
Yeah.
Like diamonds are statistically not even that rare. Like if you look at like I've talked and worked with like material scientists, bro, diamonds are not all that. They just have a high value what people place upon them. Gold is more useful. Like copper is more useful. Diamonds is just a value. So all that goes to show a lot of stuff that you're using to flex with, fronting with, it doesn't mean anything. And if it makes you feel happy, that's cool. But you got to fulfill yourself in the better ways, man.
Yeah. We have to reevaluate what makes us happy, what makes us, and like we have to reevaluate what real success is. Now, not to say, man, if you want to show off something that you work hard for, your achievement, by all means do that. But it's a difference between showing off an achievement that you genuinely worked hard for and that you know is yours and that you can really claim full ownership of, versus something that you know it's really not you, but you're just trying to suggest or trying to come off as someone who really has it like that. That's where it becomes. So please do not take our statements as like literal yes, no. There is plenty of gray area here. There's plenty of room for interpretation. So like I don't want anyone listening to this to think that we're just some like stone cold, never mess up, perfect people. The reason that we can speak so I think like in depth to this is because one, we've seen it all our lives growing up, and two, like I said, we're trying to figure it out just like y'all. Like neither of us are pretending to be somebody that we're not, and we don't put that perception out there, and we never will. So it's just like, for me, it's just like making sure that people like take stuff at face value and understand like what, hey, like Let me evaluate what I view as success. Let me evaluate what I view as like doing really well and good for yourself, and then we can move from there. Like I said, just to wrap up, I'm gonna throw some more quick facts at y'all, man. Gen Z, unfortunately, our generation, carries the highest average of personal debt at $94,101, surpassing millennials at $59,181, Gen X, $53,255, despite being the youngest working generation. We're the youngest
And
generation.
unemployed.
We're the youngest generation with the most personal debt. That should tell you. We haven't even, like, granted, you can say, hey, these guys have had way more time to pay off whatever debt it is that they had. We're coming out with the debt. Like, we're coming out with those levels of debt. And it's like we haven't even, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that just kind of speak volumes to, yeah, like 43% of millennials and 35% of Gen Z practice doom spending more to cope with anxiety about the economy in the future, compared to 27% of Americans overall. Gen Z spending is growing twice as fast as previous generations spending did at the same age, expected to eclipse baby boomer spending globally by 2029. Nearly half of Gen Zers run out of money each month, and less than a quarter consider them financially stable. Gen Z's average saving account stands at just $2,410.57. We are,
I, and for people who say the debt situation isn't that bad, you got to think there's no house purchases, no house purchases, no big purchases yet. This is just like coming out, mind you.
yeah, it's just
Highest debt, unemployed, can't get a job. And for people who are saying also like the 2400 average savings account, like I know for a lot of people like that's really good, and that is good, but just because it's good doesn't mean that it's good, if that makes sense. Like it should be, savings should be higher than that. You know, I see those videos where they ask people like how much you have in your account. It's pretty cooked, to be honest. Like a lot of people like literally check to check. And don't let people who are in certain locations with certain jobs, don't let that fool you either. Them people are likely check to check as well. So our generation is uber fried. It's like the last one. I don't know, Gen Alpha. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna be using Plato's money or something. I don't know.
yeah, bro, it's overbuilt, but hey, man, cook, dog.
Hey, but in good news, you think sports are back? You think NBA and college basketball is back?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, I'm liking the fights. I'm liking the violence. I'm saying from the NBA, man. They're trying to show up the NFL, man, because NFL have been crushing with the viewership, ratings and stuff. And NBA trying to get their face card back. So I'm like what I'm saying. It's like this is always the kind of time of year where stuff starts to heat up around March Madness coming around the corner. NBA playoffs, like when records actually start to matter and dudes start actually playing games like they matter. This is when basketball starts to heat up for like the first like 5 months of basketball will be kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, post All-Star break is when stuff really gets unchy. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And college basketball, bro. I'm really excited, bro. This is one of the most stacked classes I think we've seen in a minute, bro. Like AJ, Booz, Darius, Cuff Jr., Caleb, bro. Darren Peterson, like it's some dogs, bro. Like, so this gonna be a very this gonna be interesting. This gonna be a fire March Madness for sure.
I'm looking forward to it, bro. I mean, I don't really know too much about Darren Peterson or a lot of the guys other than AJ Dabansa, if I'm being honest. But I did see something about load management as a freshman.
Nah, he'd be like missing games and he don't be hurt against like top opponents. Like it's so weird. Like it's crazy because he's a killer, bro. Like he is a literal stone cold killer. But every like big game, he just sits out. And it's not like an injury, but he just sits out. Like it's very weird. I'm not sure if it's like, I'm not gonna lie. As a college, it's one thing. Like if you a Kawhi type of guy, 2-time champ, you've made your mark. Okay, cool, whatever. And he has a history of crazy injuries, right? This dude hasn't played a single NBA tip-off minute, and my guy's sitting out against like major contenders. As a GM, as a scout, before questioning his talent, that's not that he's a dog. Like he's a scoring machine. I question his like commitment to the game of basketball before anything else. I don't know.
I feel like sitting as a freshman at any point. Like I understand if you feel like you're a lock in the draft, like you don't have a reason to play, but like come on, man. Like only like everyone can't do the Kyrie route, and Kyrie did it because he was genuinely hurt. Like he had a broken hand or a broken foot or something. Like he was injured.
But Kyrie was also by far the best player in freaking
his class.
But yeah. So like as of February, he's missed 11 games. Google says he's had hamstring, ankle injuries, illness, and cramping. But he's had like frequent tons of unexpected exits. He sat out against number one at the time, number one ranked Arizona. He also exited early against Oklahoma State.
Saw people defending it, saying he come in and drop 30 and a half. That's why he leaving early.
But that, like, you don't do that though. Like, you still trying to make you like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's strange.
He's left early in 3 games, dog. I don't know.
If a regular average player do that, bro, they're getting benched for the rest of the season.
I don't know. But yeah, nah, facts. But it's like the good thing is that this draft class is so stacked that if you do miss out on them, you have 4 other generational, let me not say generational because people throw that word around, but you have 4 other very, very polished, very high upside, very elite prospects that you can choose from. Teams gonna have their hands full trying to figure out like who's gonna be the best at this class, because this is, like I said, one of the most stacked classes I've seen in a long time. But like I said, I'm excited to see how the next couple months play out in the basketball world, man.
We got to see what happens in the future, because if this new proposed anti-tanking rule goes into effect,
bro, that's another thing. Adam, he's actually like the worst. He's the worst, dog. Like all he does, like he doesn't even do anything like helpful for the league. He just tries to. He's fried All-Star Weekend for one. He's cooked. All-Star Weekend is done unless you bring in a one-on-one tournament and get rid of the dunk contest. That joint stunk. But bro, like all he does is just add random tournaments, bro. We don't need any more tournaments. We need real competitive basketball and no more foul baiting, right? Like we need just normal East versus West All-Star games. Like we don't need all these extra cups. And the NBA Cup actually was a pretty good idea because it makes teams like way more competitive, like in the middle of the league, middle of the season. Everything else he's done, it's like, how can you punish? And it's like the thing with the tanking thing. With the NBA is structured, tanking doesn't even guarantee you a top pick. Freaking Mavericks shouldn't have never gotten Cooper Flag, but they did. But you got to think about teams who are always at the bottom of the standings. The Wizards. When the last time the Wizards got a number 1 pick? Well, actually, no. They just got my man Alex. Sorry, but let's say like the Hornets, for example. Hornets always at the bottom. Jazz always at the bottom. They don't get no like. It's like how can you punish a team like the Pacers who you can like? They're genuinely bad. They genuinely stink. So it's like you can't punish them for that, bro. So I don't know, man. Adam Silver got to go for sure. But yeah, man, I'm tapped in though for sure.
You gotta see how it all play out. I don't know. I'm curious to see how things go. I mean, Detroit looking nice. What's the other team?
Yeah, my boy Cade is a dog, bro. I think he's the best point guard in the East right now. He a dog,
he cooking, bro. It's
is
barbecue chicken.
Bro, his game, I love his game, bro. He is so like fluid and just like it just look effortless on him for there. Like it really do look effortless for him. Like he's really like the heartbeat of that. And I really appreciate how he's just kind of like stayed down with Detroit because he called it like I think a year or two ago. He's like, bro, we way better than this. We are way better than what our record shows. And they came out. They've been whooping everybody. So I'm be excited to see them match up against like something like the Celtics or the Cavs or Knicks in the playoffs, bro. That's gonna be a great series.
Man, you and real quick, you think JT done or you think he gonna come back? You think JT coming back?
I was like, without JT, they're second in the East. That one says how cheeks the East is, but also says too how well structured the Celtics are and how good Jaylen Brown really is. Like
JB's a dog.
JT come back and he like even half of what he was before that injury. Celtics are can make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals without a question. I think even without him, they can still have a chance at the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think with him, even if he's a sliver of what he was, yeah, he gonna be. Yeah.
Wait, what happened to them last year? Did he get hurt last year?
Yeah, I think he got hurt in the who were they playing? Was it the Pacers?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I want to say he got hurt in the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. He tore his Achilles in the semifinals against the Knicks. Not the Pacers, sorry.
Yeah, I remember because
the Knicks played the I'm tripping.
And the Knicks were dealing with a bunch of injuries themselves.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? Jalen Brunson, his hand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's looking good this year. I hope everybody can stay healthy, or those who are healthy can stay healthy. But yeah, man, it's an exciting time. Stay off the sports betting, man. This stuff is making y'all evil people. Whoever sent that email to Russell Westbrook's wife, you're a terrible person.
Your employer, you're gonna find out, man. As always, bro, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the Black Box Theory Pod. We are very grateful for the ton of support and just kind of consistent viewership and engagement that we get on a week-over-week basis. So yeah, we are deeply appreciative to you guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in, supporting us on our mission and vision. Like I said, we're gonna trying to put out good content for you guys. Like I said, as always, let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what's like good topics, good engaging topics that you kind of want to hear us discuss. Yeah, as always, man, we appreciate y'all. Happy Sunday. Hope y'all have an excellent week. And we will be back for episode 8 next week, man.
Facts. Be blessed.
Be blessed, man. Yeah, boy, y'all have a good one, man, for sure.
Peace.